Hey, it's your main man Tony from Brooklyn. And let me tell you two, three things about the best video game website I've ever come across in my entire life, okay? It's this place called GamersGather.com, alright? You're gonna want to go there to get all of the latest video game news on the planet first, alright?
Hello and welcome once again to the Forward Compatible Podcast. This is episode 125 for June 29th, 2014. My name's Tony. I'm joined, as always, by my fellow podcasters, Mark and Jason.
I just realized it's a lot of freaking episodes.
125? You know what? It's not as many as 126,
I look as good as I did day one.
but it is slightly more than 124.
If by look as good as you did on day one because nobody could see you.
Thank you.
It's also true.
That was the pun. If you know
Right off the bat, if you hear a humming noise, it's not your audio.
it.
We have fans going.
It's
Because
hot.
it's hot. It's Chicago.
Stupid weather.
We do this every, year. So last year
Stupid.
was an AC unit, now it's fans.
So hot.
The important part is we don't care what it sounds like to you. We're cool and comfortable.
All right, well, I suppose we kick off the show with our weekly roundtable and catch everybody up on what we've been playing since the last time we all spoke.
I got Thief. I picked it up. I'm probably going to return it.
It's not a good game.
It's better than I thought it was going to be, but it's a lot of rinse and repeat, and it's just not interesting enough to keep me going. It's got a cool
There's
character.
one thing that Mark can't stand. It's rinsing himself off.
Yep.
Rinsing myself off.
Disgusting bastard right here.
What the hell did I do? What do you mean?
Oh, I can't,
God.
We smelled you last
Can't-
week after.
I can't shower in
after
days
softball.
that end in Y.
I don't know. I don't like to
Tired,
rinse
man.
and repeat myself. And they apparently like when I rinse and repeat myself.
Yeah, it's true. So fresh and so clean. How about yourself, good
Did you
sir?
play anything else?
Besides that, I did Battle Block Theater on the PC because it was on Steam sale for $3.
Gonna be free.
Gonna be free if
You
you have the
wasted
Xbox.
$3. You
No,
had
no.
an Xbox.
No, I throw. There's a few companies I'll throw money at, and Behemoth is one of them. And I'm surprised I didn't pick it up when it was 15 because Behemoth needs my money because they awesome.
They needs it.
Did you
Yeah.
pick up World of Tanks on? Oh wait, that's right. You have an Android.
No, I have good devices.
Oh.
And
Good games aren't on your devices.
I don't think good games are on either of our devices.
I was going to say there's not much.
Justice isn't bad, but you have to play that on a tablet in order for it to be decent.
Yes. Besides that, I beat Infamous Second Son: The Paper Trail because I beat Infamous Second Son a few weeks back, but I finally finished up the Paper Trail, which was cool. Kind of got annoying doing it all in a row, but I see if you were doing it week to week, like how it was coming out. That's where you basically had to go back and forth between your web browser, so you had to have a computer nearby, and then back to the game and back and forth. Which for me, thankfully, is right next to each other, but for some people, it might be a pain in the ass.
You said the exact same thing last week because you started playing Paper Trail
Yeah,
and
I
talked
finished
about
it.
going back and forth on the computer.
Yeah. Then a week, finished. Don't have to worry about it again. You'll never hear about it again. I forgot about
Until
it.
next week.
Till next week when I play World of Tanks.
I did a little bit more Watch Dogs this week. I did all the stupid towers,
You're a stupid
and
tower.
I did a couple of those random crimes just because I was bored. I played some crap on my 2DS because now it's in an optimal position where I don't have to leave the house to get street passes. Right by the window. When buses go by.
Boom, street pass. Boom.
I did, however, start a new game this week. It's called Marvel Heroes 2015. Essentially, it is
They're a year ahead of time.
Diablo with a Marvel skin on it. It is a free-to-play Of course, it has microtransactions, but you don't have to buy anything. You can unlock everything through progression of the game.
Is this game been out for a wee bit?
I believe so.
Okay.
They
Watch
just-
Total Biscuit,
they-
play.
I just found out that Angry Andy plays it and that there was a Mac beta version of it.
Okay.
So I jumped in and I did like 5 hours in that. Obviously, Wolverine is behind a paywall or an unlock wall, whatever you want to call it. Their initial selection of characters is okay, but I chose Rocket Raccoon. So I'm running around with little raccoon shooting stuff.
From Guardians of the Galaxy, right?
Yes. And even though it's not video game related exactly, it's got a tie into it. I have officially this week finished reading Fables. I'm 100% caught up to current issue. So now, once they release part 5, it's the next one of Wolf Among Us, chapter 5, then I can play it. I will be set.
I mean, I don't think there's any harm in starting now. I mean,
No, there's not.
you're only going to have to wait another, 2 weeks maybe?
Well, that's the thing, and it's just like what I said with Walking Dead Season 2, why I haven't started that. I own both of them. I'd rather sit down and play them in one chunk than in little pieces.
Episode 4 of Wolf Among Us was so short.
Yeah,
So short.
15 minutes.
Now, do you think, because I haven't played any of them yet, is it worth, because they are announced for, I think it's an October or November release for PS4,
Mm-hmm.
with Season 2 1 week and then the week after Wolf Among Us. Think I should wait, or is it worth the pickup?
I mean, Wolf Among Us was on Steam sale
I know, I've been
last
hauling
week for like,
$8.
no, it got down to like 6.
That might have been 6.
And it's
because
18 now.
Yeah,
So it went back up.
yeah.
I
I was just that's one of the things I'd rather play on the console because I've played episode 1 on Steam of Walking Dead. It's a little bit clunkier without.
So what you're
controller.
asking is it worth waiting and buying them on PS4 when they release this fall?
That's essentially what I've been waiting for all this time because they've been. I mean, I could have picked up all these and been playing them, but I just haven't yet.
There's a couple truths in life. You're going to die, you're going to pay taxes, and Telltale games are going to run like shit. So I don't think the PS4 is going to clean things up too much.
I don't think so.
And I
either.
don't think you're really going for graphics because they're
Nope.
not graphically intense games.
No.
So
But if you just want to play it on your PS4, then yeah, by
It's
all
mostly for the trophies, I think, and the carrying of progression, if anything.
means. Yeah, if I would have known, I mean, we all had an idea they were going to come out on them, but if I would have known for sure, I wouldn't have picked them up when I did.
I knew they were coming out because
Especially since I haven't played them. Well, I mean, I bought mine
without playing them.
3 months ago.
Yeah, well, they leaked it way before the interview about 6 months ago. They said they'll bring it over eventually,
Yeah.
which is the only reason I've waited this long.
Now, if they do like Walking Dead season 1 and 2 together,
They're not.
That
They're
much.
separate. $30 a pop.
no. I'm fine with paying whatever the price is.
Yeah,
But like, if they did, is it Walking Dead 1 and 2, or is
it's
it just
Walking
2
Dead season 1 and then Walking Dead season 2.
and Wolf?
No, all separate. $30 each.
No. I know.
What
All
is your?
3 of those are being upported to
Oh,
next
yes,
gen.
yes, all of them are next gen.
Okay.
I thought you were saying, are they in a bundle? Like,
No. I was asking if they were going to re-release all.
Yes, all of them are scheduled for release before
Anyways,
November this year.
regardless of how shitty Telltale games tend to play, I bought Walking Dead season 1 twice. Bought it on because it was originally PS3,
Yeah.
and then the 361 came. I'll probably rebuy these if I really dig them, but I'll play them before that.
Wolf Among Us is by far, playing 4 out of the 5 episodes, by far my favorite Telltale game they've ever made. And that's saying a lot because I loved season 1 of
Yeah,
Walking
I did
Dead.
too. So,
And I think Wolf Among Us is better. So it's up to you, man.
quick question with Walking Dead: did they ever add any like cross save?
No.
Damn it, bastards!
Because I beat it twice. I beat it on the Vita and I beat it on the
I saw it on the
PS3 and nothing happened.
video. Silly bastard I am. So far in the decisions you made from season 1, how often do they actually come up?
Rarely, never, but I missed out on all that because it's just character, like who's still in the
Who's
story.
still alive? Damn.
Because if you recall, I had the fiasco of my PS3 hard drive crashing.
Okay.
Lost my season 1 save, I let the computer randomly generate a season 2, and luckily,
Does it give you the option to, or is it just they do it to generate what decisions you had?
decisions
It's like what Mass Effect does.
decisions have to be generated or the story can't start.
Well, see, that's what I was saying.
It's
'Cause
either-
Mass Effect gave you the option of actually picking.
No.
Okay, so it's just randomly.
It's either import your save or they random generate something.
Okay,
for you.
okay. That's
But I
what
think I
I'm
got pretty lucky because aside from some minuscule choices, like the lives I saved was right on.
okay.
Like all the people I picked were all there. So maybe somebody was a little bit more angry with me or a little less angry than me because of what the computer
Yeah.
generated.
Whatever.
But like all the characters that I wanted to be alive were alive.
Cool.
So it worked out well.
I think that'll be my decision of if I have to get season 1 because I don't know if I want to play through it again. I don't know.
Did you ever beat it?
Oh yeah, I did on Xbox 360, of course.
I got it in the Vitas if you want to borrow it.
I have it on the Vitas.
Okay.
'Cause it came on my my Amazon bundle.
It's a pretty short game.
Yeah.
10 hours if you sit down and play it all at one time, maybe less.
7.5. Because that's what I when I did it on 360.
Yeah, I think I'm almost done with episode 2 on it. This is why I was asking for cross save because that'd be sweet.
Well, then.
Dirty, sexy, news.
News.
More news!
More news.
Well, you know, I just wanna-
part of the news!
First story.
Start of the news!
We had Nintendo this week actually lose another lawsuit, this time to Philips. This has anything to do with the motion from the Wii, the Wii U, the Wii U Remote, the Wii U Remote Plus, the
And the SNES.
balance board, every device that basically ever came. Oh, and the classic controller actually too.
Well, there's a specific reason why.
Well, yeah, it's because in the UK. Well, this is out of the UK first off. Basically, they had a infringement on a patent that apparently Philips already had. So right now, it's going to go through the appeal stage. So there's nothing.
It's the gyros, the way that they work.
Nintendo's been stealing a lot of tech lately, huh?
You know, there's so many patents out there. You do it and like, crap, that's analysis. I think that's just how it works
Yeah.
mostly. I don't think.
I mean, look at Microsoft has a patent for a holodeck, but that doesn't mean they're ever going to make it. But now, let's say Mark over here decides, he's got the technology, he makes one. Oh, wait a minute.
I mean, same thing when Apple tried to sue.
Well, patents aren't that blanket, though. They're not just
No,
like, nobody
no.
can ever make a holodeck. There's like,
Obviously.
Yeah.
But
well, like Apple would sue Samsung over the fact that your screen curves.
Yep.
That was actually one that they
was
won,
a legitimate lawsuit.
sadly. And then they sent the money in, nickels?
penny.
No, there's not enough pennies in the world that would actually...
I thought it was penny.
No, they wanted to do
Diamond.
pennies. It was nickels.
Okay.
They wanted to do pennies, but there's not actually enough in circulation to pay them. And then it never happened because they countersued it or whatever they did, so they never actually did it. But that was the
Better
plan.
news!
More news! Since we did cover Reading Rainbow way back, Seth MacFarlane is going to cover dollar per dollar.
What?
Basically,
What
another
is he
$1 million
talking about?
on top of Reading Rainbow.
Reading Rainbow! I had
So-
no idea what was going on. I was
Yeah.
reading my phone.
Yeah. So good for you, Seth MacFarlane. Basically, another $1 million onto that. So
Well, yeah, because originally it was $1 million that they were asking for on
Yes.
Kickstarter. Then they realized what the budget was $5
Mhm.
Okay, so they were sitting at $4 million, and it ends this coming week.
Mhm.
So Seth MacFarlane said that he will match that other $1 million
Yeah.
regardless.
He's got
Effectively, what it does, instead of 15,000 classrooms getting it for
it.
free,
Mhm.
it's 7,500 that will get it for free.
Wait, it was 1,500 first. Now it's 7,500.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, so effectively, that extra $1 million that Seth MacFarlane's giving them
Yeah.
is allotting them another 6,000 classrooms, or I don't know if it's classrooms or schools, however, but that they'll be
Yeah.
able to donate it to. So
That's
And,
all.
and then they'll be able to receive Reading Rainbow!
you can download it right now on your phone.
Yeah.
What?
Reading Rainbow.
Uh,
Yeah, it's a $5 monthly subscription.
There you go.
Cool.
Educate yourself, son.
More news!
Morning.
There was a Last of Us
Monthly video game
remastered bundle announced this week. Right now it's UK only. It'll probably come stateside, I would assume. But basically it's the game, controller, and the console. Also, it's in UK dollars right now, so I think it's like
It's
$4.79.
Monopoly money.
$4.79.
Is it in
So
real
it'll probably
money?
end up being, $4.50 by us or so, I would assume.
So you save $10.
Yeah, basically.
No, because Last of Us is only going to be $50.
Okay.
$4.40. Yes. Way to ruin the rest of the story. Damn it, Reading Rainbow. Basically, also, Last of Us got a $10 price drop, so if you bought it off Amazon or wherever, $10 refund coming your way.
You know what that means? The remake sucks.
Yeah, that's exactly what it means.
Actually, it's really good because
Worse than the franchise.
for a remake, I really think anything that's going to be remade should not have that $60 price. I even think Grand Theft Auto should do this, launch it at $50. I mean, that extra $10 is going to probably
Shut
steer
up,
quite a
Mark.
few
You'll still
people.
pay for it.
Last of Us, I will only buy when it's about
No, GTA.
30 to $40. GTA, I'll do at $40 definitely. So once
Liar.
it gets that first price sale, I'll probably
Day
jump
one
on it.
purchase.
No, actually,
Andrew?
why are you looking at nipples on there?
What is that?
That is a nipple. What are you doing? When's there nipples on the fucking phone? How am I supposed to work on these conditions? What is it? That and then when Metro Last Light goes, or Redux goes for like $30, picking that up too. I'm not paying full price for a game I already played. Sorry. Terrible man I am.
I will for GTA. Because I miss Trevor. So much.
So much. I want to do the online heist. Is originally what I wanted the game for, and they're not even released yet. So,
We're not going to talk about playing GTA Online, Mark.
well, we're playing PS4 together.
Somebody screwed me over on that.
Yeah, I wonder who that was. Anyway, more news! Tony's Falls. We actually have some good Nintendo news for once. I'm going to follow it up with bad, probably. Just to, even it out.
Didn't we already do the bad news? Or was there more?
No, we're going good first. We're going on the bright
No,
side of
we had
Nintendo.
We had the
You
suit, the
said somebody got
lawsuit.
sued
Oh.
for bad.
It's
Oh, sorry.
bad news.
There should be two bad and one good then. Sorry, I messed that one up. So, the good Nintendo news for the week to, make you smile, maybe. Mario Karts. 2 million sold. You gotta be happy with that. It's one of the very few games Nintendo can gloat about for sales-wise. I mean, what? There's like 10 Wii U's out there to sell 2 million copies? That's freaking great. What, do you need help?
Okay.
I'm texting Tony from the bedroom.
That's weird. Inception. Anyone?
Why don't you just text him and tell him to come? Make it
No,
easier.
no. Jason number 2 has it.
Is a robot.
What's the how many Wii U's is sold?
Uh,
roughly
5?
Less than 5 million.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's say 5. And they got a 2 million sell on Mario Kart.
It's ridiculous.
That's damn good for them.
40% attach rate.
Well, most people don't have the Wii U, so it's probably like 10, and they sold 2 million Mario Karts.
Wait, what?
They have 10 consoles out there that they sold 2 million.
No.
I'm kidding.
Everybody bought tons of copies.
Yes.
No, I'm really
No,
happy
I'm
that
happy for
Mario Kart
Nintendo.
did well.
Because Mario Kart is actually awesome. When we played it for the stream, that was I've always liked Mario Kart, so that was one of my favorites already. So
No, that's
I
good.
like it.
Good.
Good times.
Good.
Now to wipe that smile off your face. Why'd I got reelected?
Thanks,
The hell?
Obama.
What the hell, Obama?
Oh, wait. Who?
Along with Miyamoto and basically everyone else.
Miyamoto?
Miyamoto.
Miyamoto?
Mira.
Miyamoto?
Miro?
Miyamoto.
Did I think I said Miyamoto.
Listen, like, there's one Japanese name that I know how to pronounce. and it's
Miyamoto.
his, Okay?
I think I said Miyamoto.
You said Miyamoto.
I don't care. I'm drunk. Anyway, basically that and all the board got reelected, so don't know if that's a good thing for the company at this point. I think they did need to kind of shake things up with maybe a few new people, or I don't know, something needs to happen. Things.
And stuff.
and stuff.
Don't forget the stuff.
And stuff.
This was quite like a dead split. Like apparently his approval rating's going down and down and down, right?
It is 77.3 as of last year.
Whereas it was in the 90s
It
during
was
the
93 during 2011. So he's slipped, almost 20% probably by now.
Now, for a year or two, they got away with blaming it on the research and development. Then there was the whole "please understand" when he went and he bought 10,000 Wii U's to try to pump up the number,
Pump up the jam.
So it was something like that.
like right before the.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm sorry, I'm super. Lots going on right now. Yeah,
it's Moss. He's texting us.
Yeah,
Because
okay.
we're that cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Alright,
so
so you were
about
saying
10,000
about blaming.
He bought 10,000 units right before the Wii came out to help boost numbers.
yes, because it was right before the earnings report came out, so he bought 10,000 personal Wii U's. Yeah, you didn't know this, and then he came. That's where the "please understand" meme came from.
Really?
Please understand, because then he got caught up, and that was his like apology speech. So I don't know, man. It's
Maybe he bought the million copies of Mario.
there's only like 7 copies out there.
Jason's got one. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Now here's a question, right? Going back to really quick on Mario Kart, because it just popped in my head. So they've sold 2 million units of Mario Kart. Then if you register with Club Nintendo, they give you a free game of your choice out of 5. Are they counting those games as sales for that, whatever, for the other game too?
Perhaps.
Which Mario Kart are they giving you?
Mario? If you bought Mario Kart 8, you
Yeah.
can get Super Mario Brothers, New Wii U, Wind
Yes.
Waker, Pikmin,
Or sports something or other. Some shitty game.
Nintendo Land.
Okay. No, it should just be the actual Mario Kart number.
You never know.
You never know.
Well, it's also digital, and
Yeah.
I don't know if they count those.
Yeah.
I know Sony doesn't. Every digital sale doesn't show up in the MPD. So I don't know if Nintendo's does.
Probably not.
I don't know. Nintendo needs to look as good as they can.
But either way, you're still talking about probably at least 40% attach rate.
Even further into the Nintendo hole we go. I don't know if you have this in your news, but they, everybody was talking about how much money they lost and everything so far.
Mm.
What did they say? They still have 4.7 billion
Oh yeah, there's some money.
in reserve, and then something like another 2 on cash on hand or something. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's down
Nowhere
significantly
near like
from
Microsoft
the 10
numbers.
billion that they had.
Yeah.
They're chipping away significantly into this.
Yeah.
I mean, just to put it in perspective, you still have Bill Gates, who's reportedly worth $2.5 trillion.
Oh, just shy of 4 trillion.
Oh, okay, man, that was off. Yeah, I think it was that. I think it was
Didn't
something
we
else.
talk about this last week too?
Yep.
Something like that, yeah.
What
Just
is with
putting it in
you?
perspective.
What is it with you?
If
This week, new week, new news,
New news.
new news.
New news. We got Crytek had a little
Wow.
bit of a scare, I guess. I
Talk
don't
about
know.
companies going to the shitter.
Wow. They're saying that there might be financial woes. The company, of course, is saying there's not. Crytek, personally, and we've talked about this a few times, it's one of those companies that says, we make the best shit, and they don't sell that well in particular.
No. I mean, they along with that, they officially came out and said no Rise 2, which is unfortunate because I thought there were some good.
There's some good
there were
ideas
there were
in
some
there.
good ideas in Rise. Some pretty well execution too. The game was gorgeous. But then after that, Crytek also said that they were going to start developing free-to-play and microtransaction-based games.
Yes.
Can't people, I get it. There's money to be made there. When you're like a low to mid-level game design company.
Well, they
Or
have that in
developing
there.
company.
They sell their engine as well.
You know,
like an
it's-
Unreal.
But I'm saying, like, when you go to that mobile market and that microtransaction market, like, if we started up a video game company, that would be a great starting
Start
point
up,
for
yeah.
us, right? But when you're up here and then you come down to there, you seem to run into a lot of freaking problems. Epic is another example. When they started putting out the, even though they said that they did pretty well in the Infinity Blade games, even though you had to buy those, but they went, like they're a AAA studio.
Yeah.
They're putting out mobile stuff. All of a sudden, there goes Cliffy B, and there goes Rod Ferguson, and like it just doesn't seem to work. ID said that they were going to start making mobile stuff. John Carmack
Yeah.
It just.
I just don't think that free to play is as lucrative as it was because everyone's doing it. It's
if
over,
you're not a MOBA,
it's
you don't have much
over-
of a market.
It's oversaturated, and it's just like this shit worked 5 years ago when 4 people were doing it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But now every other game is free to play. It's like there's not enough room to withstand all these games all being free because what's going to happen is people are going to play for an hour and move on to the next free-to-play game because there's so many. Instead of getting that initial hook,
There's no
where you
emotional
lure,
investment.
yeah, you lure them in for free, and
No.
then they're locked, and now you start milking them for $5 for more turns or
That
coins.
you
or
don't
whatever.
feel like you have an emotional investment into the game because, like you said, like before, it's like, wow, okay, free to play, that's something special. They really care about the community and so on and so forth. But then now it's just like microtransactions.
Yeah, everybody's free.
cash grab.
The one thing I'd say about that is Crytek hasn't really had many free-to-play games that I'm aware of.
No, that's just. I mean, that's what they announced that they were going to start switching their business model to
Yeah.
post Rise.
Yeah. Rise, again, it's a new IP for a next-gen console game.
Yeah,
You're not going to have... You can't sell that many copies. Maybe over a lifetime, they'll maybe recoup some of what they probably lost on
I'm
it.
talking about legacy sales.
You got them legacy sales coming in. I mean, that's just, that's the... You're doomed for a new IP, on a next-gen
Yeah,
system.
totally. I mean, that's
right
to
at
be
the start.
expected.
You're not going to get enough sales to really recoup the amount of time you put into it.
To be expected.
And I don't think there's many games besides the yearly releases that can say any different to that.
Yeah.
One of the things with Crytek that I've noticed is that their games look awesome, they
Right,
play
Tony.
awesome. They never really announced many impressive
What was it? What is it called, Honky?
line change.
Huh?
Line change. They never really announced like a, hey, we sold 6 million copies, 5 million copies, or whatever, And I just don't see them selling that on really any of their series. I know their next AAA release is Homefront 2, which I think is next year, unless they come out with something that Gamescom with, maybe like another Crisis or something.
I mean, even those series, they don't do like gangbusters.
Yeah. It's a company that makes good quality stuff, but I don't think sells well, which is not surprising that this doesn't come out sooner. I guess from them to say that they're hurting a little bit.
Look what you did, because you closed the door.
No, it's your fault for breathing too loudly.
No.
That's all I had for this week.
Final thoughts on Crytek.
I hope they emerge okay. There's a few games I want to see them still make, but
Such as
Rise 2.
they already said it's not going to happen.
A lot of people say that. Microsoft said they were never going to release a Connectless Xbox One.
We're talking about a good company, though.
Wait, are you making fun of Crytek or Microsoft?
Little bit from column A, a little bit from column B.
Bloop, bloop. But yeah, good times.
You're a good day.
I like Crisis. They're fun.
Okay.
I was trying to. We have this little group chat thing that we use for the show, and I was
We do? What?
It's
I
called,
haven't
it's called
invited yet.
Facebook Messenger.
and
It used to be
so-
other things.
so then, like when this happened, I was telling the guys, and I'm all like, "Oh, looks like they're in real crisis." When I saw the crisis, and I was hoping to start a whole little thing here. I was waiting for somebody to respond like, "Don't worry, they can rise out of it," and spell like rise, and nobody wanted to play along. These guys are so fucking boring.
What was that work?
I hate these fuckers.
was
I've had a
sick.
busy week. I think I at least gave you a thumbs up. Little
Ding.
Yeah. But you could have kept going.
By my
Do it
lunch,
himself.
I just talk to my. I usually do.
You could have invited like a second profile and just go back and forth.
invite my alter ego, start talking to myself. I think I'm gonna do that.
You can have another one called Tony and just has like the Star Trek evil goatee.
But it would have to be a clean-shaven Tony.
I guess
Maybe
it would
that
have to
one-
be.
I am the evil Tony.
Well, see, one of them has to have the Star Trek, evil goatee. That's you need that.
Excuse me, man.
That's one
I'm just
reason
gonna
I'm
remove
not-
this face warm, huh? South Park, anyone? No. Yes.
Yes.
It's not
Because
so they
it-
made fun of the Star Trek.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the episode where Cartman was unconscious, laying in the hospital
They
bed.
used that joke for a few episodes.
Yeah, and
Yes,
then-
that one too.
They make it seem like it was like 6 months. I'm like, let me take off his face warmer, and
Yeah.
then
It's been 15 minutes.
So that's news for this week.
Yes.
David
So
Letterman.
David Letterman. So I got a little bite-size.
Is it like a bite-sized like Snickers bar?
Tony's topic of the week.
What was that? Andrew Dillon. There's a joke out there. Tony's Toddler Corner or something like that. When I was making fun
That
of the kid
sounds
games
terrible.
that you want, I kept because he's like, oh, I love Jack and Daxter. I'm like, kids game. He's like, oh, I love Ratchet and Clank. I'm like, kids games. And then I said something that was kind of innuendo-ish like that, like Tony's Kid Corner or something. It was something
I
stupid
don't
like
remember.
that. Andrew Dillon will find it.
Reggie would follow that.
High five. Okay, so this is the last podcast of June, which means we're fiscally halfway through the
You're
year.
fiscal.
Fiscally halfway through the year
Don't tell me where I'm fiscal at.
of the 20,014s. So, I figured we could do a quick little talk about our thus far game of the year.
So a 6-month game of the year?
Well, no, this is not.
What
This
have
is
you
not the
played this
game
year?
of the year talk.
Oh, I know.
This is the
I know.
first 6 months. Who's in the running talk?
That's what I was implying. Jesus.
I hate this fucking guy. I do. He didn't want to play the Crisis / Rise.
I don't know why.
They Rise to the Challenge game.
I don't even know why I let him in my house, to be honest. I mean, like, you thought this guy smelled bad.
This is my
You
anus
should
smells
catch a whiff of him.
My anus smells like peaches.
Oh.
That's what Kim said.
Kim said it.
She's like, you missed that. I think you're out of the fucking.
Yeah, he was.
It was so dumb. Oh, good times. So,
Speechless.
game of the year talk for 6 months. Who's some nominations? Mark, throw a game out there.
South Park, Sick of Truth.
South Park. You haven't played this yet, have you?
No, you brought me the PS3 copy the day that I got the PS3.
Oh, that's right. That happened.
I was like,
Well,
gone.
you tried.
and it's gone.
Yeah, this is definitely thus far also in my game of the year contention. It was a lot of fun, and for me, it was perfect because it's about as long as I can handle a turn-based RPG. Thank God it had the South Park coat of paint on top of it with the witty dialogue, because there also wouldn't even have been able to take it that long.
It was the best fanfare game I've ever played,
Yeah,
in the best ways possible.
and it was the absolute best licensed game I ever made.
Oh yeah, by far. It's because they worked so closely on that came out so well.
They worked so.
They
Matt and
fucking
Trey
made the game.
built it. They made the game.
Well,
it
no,
is.
they wrote the story,
They made the game.
and then had to basically approve it.
They took a giant episode of South Park and go, can you map this to buttons?
Yeah.
I mean, that's all
Yeah.
it was. That's all it was. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't play it.
Okay.
You fuck.
Jason, what's the game so far?
Oh shit.
I'll come back to you. Think about it now.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw Wolfenstein a New Order in there. And I'm going to throw this as a multiple category because I think so far this is the clear surprise of the year, at the very least.
I will hand that to you as well. From everything I've played so far, it was the game that surprised. Like I didn't expect to be as good as it was, so I would give it surprise.
It's really good, guys. I didn't expect it. I was just kind of like, well, there's nothing to play.
Yeah, it's got a good story, and the actual gameplay of it it's solid. I've gotten
Silky
bored of first-person shooters, and I love playing it. So
Yeah, it's an awful lot of fun. And it was one of those games that doesn't feel like it had to throw in crappy multiplayer and stuff, you know?
even the achievements, no stupid collectible. Oh, I guess there
No,
is.
there are.
They just help you.
I'd rather do collectibles than online multiplayer achievements any day of the week.
I think I mentioned this a couple times before. The best online achievements or trophies were from Uncharted, where it's
play once.
try this mode, bing, try this mode, bing, try this mode, bing, done. Just to try to get people involved.
Yeah.
And you got the trophy no matter what you did.
Yep.
You get to check out every mode once and you're finished. That's the way to do online trophies.
Yep.
I don't know. Sir.
Okay. Here's the hard part. I'm gonna play around here with a couple of different options. I don't want to get too far.
No, we're just listing one at a
Yeah,
time. You
yeah.
could list 2 or 3 games.
I haven't played it yet, but I already know. And it's out, so it counts. And that's Valiant Hearts. I know we had a discussion about this game a little earlier because our fear is that it's going to be free on PlayStation Plus in like a month.
I think it's going to be half off within like 2 weeks.
And I don't doubt that, but I still think that it's going to be one of those games like the experience that you had with like the first Walking Dead, where the story is so
and
captivating,
it's very worth $15,
and it's just
right?
it's going to hook you, and you're not going to forget it, you know. And just from what I've seen of it, I've even avoided reading like reviews of it because I don't care. I want to
It
try.
scored well.
Yeah, did it? Okay. So I'm going to say Valiant Hearts, which hopefully by this time next week I'll have played it.
Very, very interesting. Marksif, do we have any other nominations coming from your camp over Meow?
Trials Fusion. It's a weak one in my opinion, even though I'm such a huge Trials fan.
Worst in the franchise. And it is, but it's still good.
It's still a great game. Their additions basically were the trick thing, which they had to add something.
I think
I didn't
one of
get
my
into
problems with the game too. I mean, I have it. I still play it. The setting. It's a little futuristic, a little bit more brighter color palettes changed a little bit.
I like that.
I know, but like I've come to love the gritty, dark, urban, industrial look of Trials. That's part of the environment is a big part of the game, and that's kind of what appealed to me with Trials. So the new futuristic thing, I'm not far enough into it. I've probably only got like 3-4 hours into the game.
Yeah, it's pretty
and I'm
quick
sure
to-
it'll grow on me as I
Yeah.
go too. But as of right now, it's not my favorite look for Trials.
No, definitely. What is it? Not Fusion. Trials Evolution was definitely the best in the franchise for it. With this one either being
Worst in the franchise.
I'd still give this one the second best because HD didn't have the online community as the Evolution did.
Yeah.
This one at least does.
Oh,
It
no,
is still-
Is that shit still broken? Because I couldn't even log into my Uplay account on it.
That day, I've never had trouble with it. Either way, it's still addicting as heck to play. So I've gone back to it multiple times, which I still give it to them as being a Game of the Year nomination, just because not many games can make you come back after a month or two. That's really hard for most games, and this is something it's always just so nice to jump into. Just get 4 or 5 tracks done. It's like 10 minutes your time, and it's got great maps on there.
It's very easily consumable.
Yeah.
You want me to go next, or since you jumped me before?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. You can just walk in front of the camera. That way, because you're gonna knock it over again. Line change.
Line change.
Honestly, as stupid as it sounds, I got to go with the Mario Karts.
Yes, Mario Karts. That is. I have 3 clear-cut favorites, and I'll do that during final thoughts. But Mario Kart's definitely in them. It's easy to forget when you play a ton of games, and you just kind of get used to glitches and brokenness and all this other crap, that when you go to a Nintendo first-party game, how perfect they make games.
Yeah.
They are so good about quality control and fun. And you play that game, and it's not going to be this crazy story-driven game that you remember for the next decade, but just dumb, stupid fun with your friends on a couch.
Well, here's the other part, right? It's like, okay, yes, it's more of the same, but the major difference is that between Mario Kart 8 and Mario Kart 7 is mostly with Mario Kart 7, you could use the classic controller if you chose, but you were stuck playing with the Wiimote for the most part. This is a return to, yes, I know, before anybody jumps in, you can turn on motion controls for the tablet if you choose, but nobody does. Let's be real. So you play with the buttons, okay?
Yeah.
So it's a nice return to the traditional control scheme of Mario Kart. And like you said, the game is gorgeous. And when you watch the replays, which are A, hilarious, B, you see the attention to detail that they put into it. Things like when you drive through the mud, there's mud on your tires. Then you drive through the water and the mud's gone off the tires. Yeah, so I mean, again, it's just, regardless of whether it's the same core game that's been released for 20 years now or whatever it is, there are small improvements and they are building upon it. And it's just, like you said, it's dumb fun. It's not something that I'm going to remember, but the game necessarily, but I'll remember sitting on the couch playing it with friends. Like, I remember that one time, in Mario Kart, I was just doing that last week at a barbecue when we were sitting around talking about playing Mario Kart Double Dash.
Yeah.
So,
I completely agree with you as well. Mario Kart I had a ton of fun with it. I was so happy we played through all the maps that day. That was a blast.
yeah, because we actually did every cup after we recorded, didn't we?
Yeah, we recorded the dumbest part. I felt bad afterwards because me and Mark
You
were
missed
still,
me winning every time.
except for that one time where you didn't win, where I smashed everyone.
Yeah.
Oh no, you weren't here.
What do you
That was a different day. We played it again.
mean?
That was the day.
Downstairs.
Yeah,
That's
where I
'cause I was
messed,
in there to smash.
I messed everyone up. I'm getting progressively better at that game now.
Except if I'm there, because
Maybe,
go down.
who knows? Maybe we'll have to do a return to Mario Kart.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
Maybe.
that's right, motherfuckers.
I'd be fine with that.
As for me, everybody took all of mine. Sadly, there's more games I can list, but I don't think they're Game of the Year worthy. You know what I mean? So I'm all
beat.
set. How about you, sir?
My last one that I would give, I guess, honorable mention to, I don't think it'll end up winning mine, but Infamous, Second Son. Definitely my favorite in their franchise. I think they crafted a really nice story. Nolan North was awesome. He did a really, really good main character in there. Better than actually most of the, they do the good and evil decisions. Actually had some of my favorite good and evil decisions. The second one kind of lacked that in my opinion. But, they fixed a lot of, the second one ticked me off because of how you'd, traverse the city, you had to climb a bunch of stuff. So they had new powers and just made getting around awesome.
I thought the spray paint mechanic was actually a lot of fun.
spray painting was
Turning the
fun.
controller sideways.
Yeah,
Twice it was cool. Then it
I
just
got bored of it
annoying.
because I did all of them. But,
I mean, I only played the game for an hour. So.
yeah.
Oh, that's
I was
why.
like, woo!
Yeah, they keep making you do it every time you take over a territory. And after the second time, you're like,
yeah.
wow, this is just dumb.
Honorable mention, not going
And
to
he couldn't
win.
figure it out. He couldn't get it.
Really?
He was still trying to hold. Anyways.
MLB The Show, another honorable mention, if anything. It's a solid-ass baseball game coming from 2K.
Won't win Game of the Year because of the hair.
Won't win because of the game of the year, also because it's why would a baseball game win the game of the year? But those are just two honorable mentions of good things I've played this year. So,
I got one more bizarre game to throw out there. Mark, you want to go hit the button all the way on the right? It's this quirky little game that I picked up on my PS4s.
The Octodads.
The Octodads. It's so much fun and it's so frustrating and it's just ridiculous.
I've completely forgot about that game,
Octodad.
Octodad. And I forgot it came out this year. That game was a lot of stupid fun. I remember it's like R2 and L2 controls legs and R1 and L1 controls arms.
Yeah.
And you're like moving and you're trying to like flop through it. Woo!
We still have, you know what, I promise, we will still do the co-op video of Octodad because co-op in Octodad,
You have to come
I
over
control the
here.
left.
We're wrapping it up.
In Octodad, I would control the left side and you would control the right.
Oh, is that how they did the co-op? I was
Yes.
wondering. I never saw anyone
Yes.
talk about that.
Okay, Mas, real quick, what'd you play this week? Awesome. Thoughts on Nintendo? Sweet. And your game of the year? Excellent. Okay. Final thoughts?
Octodad.
South Park. That's game of the year so far, I suppose.
Mine's. I don't know which one I like better because they're all so different, but those are the three I wanted to bring up was Mario Kart, Wolfenstein, and South Park. But I
Yeah.
think South Park's winning so far. For me.
I think those three are top three, and then Trials probably my number 4 pick for the year so far. And there's not too much else coming out later this year that is gonna. I don't know. We'll see.
October's pretty stacked. If something's going to be thrown
Let's
it, it'll
see.
be around that October-November area. So
Let's see. I need a WoW game.
Pokemon. All right, this has been episode 125. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Catch us next week, same time, same place.
Pokemon sucks.